It's Russell back with Gwinnett Lawns in beautiful, oh yeah, look at that sky. Atlanta, Georgia. Today is April the, what is today? April the 24th, 2024. Let me get in the box truck. It's a little cold outside. It's about 50 degrees. I think it's going to be in the mid 70s today. It'll be nice, but it's a little chilly right now. It's like 7:30 in the morning. We pull out of here at 8 sharp, wheels up at 8. All right, so here's the question: check, cash, or charge? So I want to find out from you guys, and I'm going to tell you what I do. Which kind of payment do you accept from your customer? Do you accept all three? Do you just accept one? Do you do two? So back when I started doing this, 1977, it was all cash, man. We did cash. That's what it was. I usually got $3 to $5, maybe $8. And if you were really good, $10 for a yard. But most of them are like $5 or $6. Anyways, cash. So here we are in 2024, and there are a ton of ways to get paid. But there's only one way that I use, and I'm going to tell you why, because it is super efficient and saves me a ton of time. It saves the customer time, and it's much less hassle. And I'm going to explain why, and you can put down in the comments how you do it. So first of all, you should always be using a good CRM. That's client, it's client relationship management software, basically something like Yardbook, or something else to help you run your lawn business. If you're using, there's a lot of different ones out there, just find one. I like Yardbook. It's free. It does everything I needed to do, and it works. So why? Now, I'm going to tell you what I do. I take credit cards and credit card on file only. I'm going to tell you why. When you have the customer set up on credit card on file, you do not have to ensure that the customer is there to get paid, or that they left you, if they're still doing this, left you a check under the doormat or under the, under the grill or the stone on the, wherever, on the porch. I want to make it easy as possible for the customer. Let's say that I get up to the yard and the check's not there. Oh, they just forgot. They legitimately forgot. What do? You're going to cut it anyway? Or are you going to call the customer or say they're already at work? Are you going to reschedule it for the next day? See, these things start snowballing. If you decide to go ahead and cut it and they're like, yeah, just drop by later tonight when I get home and I'll give you a check. Well, now you have to get in your car or truck and go drive all the way back to the customer's house to pick up some money. That's no good. It wastes time. What about cash? Well, cash has some problems. Now, cash is always good. However, number one, the customer has to be there or they're leaving it somewhere. And again, if they forget, you have the problem. You're going to have to go back and get it. You're going to have to spend time. You're going to have to, actually, the customer has to do something in order for you to get paid, right? They either have to leave the check or they have to leave the cash. A lot of people used to leave checks under the doormat and all that for the lawn guy. I don't like that. Yes, that's happened, but this is 2024, as I just told you, and we're not doing that anymore. And then when you have the check, you either have to go deposit it. Hopefully you can do mobile deposit, but you still have to go and do something with it. Again, you're not getting paid for doing this, right? It's just more time that you're spending that you could be doing something else. And again, the customer has to do something. All right, what about invoicing? Well, invoicing, you send them now that's even worse, right? So it used to be checks, and I knew a lot of people still invoice the customers. Why? You have to, if you're doing it, if you're solo, or you're doing it out of your home, like most of you guys that are watching this, you have got to mail out the invoices, or maybe you're emailing the invoices. You still got to do a bunch of work. Then the customer has to get it, and they have to do something. They're either clicking on a link, they're putting their credit card in, maybe they're writing a check and mailing it. It's too much work. Again, you're having to wait for the customer to do something, and you're having to do something. When you're not doing billable work, which is out here mowing, laying pine straw, mulch, whatever, it's too much time, right? And then you got these, I call them the app payments, right? Again, you still have to do something, right? You have to send them. I don't use Zelle, Cash App, none of that stuff. I don't think that's very professional. If you use it in your business, that's fine, but I don't want nothing to do with it. And I'm going to tell you why. Again, you have to wait for the customer to do something. You text them. I guess you're going to text it or email it to them, but probably text it from your phone, and you got to wait for them to pay you. I don't want to, if I've already done the job, I want my money now. I want to get it done and get it over with. I don't want to have to wait on the customer to do anything. I want to get my money immediately if I want. And I don't want to have to do any extra work after the fact to go get the money that I should have already gotten, right? Like driving back to the customer's house to go pick up a check or whatever, or cash. So I do credit card on file. This is basically a one and done thing, right? When the customer comes on board and they've approved the estimate, part of the process is I email them the link, they put their credit card on file, and then it's done. So what you can do is after you do the yard, you can go in to whatever software you use and go ahead and charge the card for the amount of the service, and it's done. You've got your money. The customer doesn't have to do anything. You're going to automatically email them a receipt, and everything's done, right? You're paid, it's done, it's over. That's the way it should be. Quick, easy, and simple, and you're not relying on the customer to do something. That's the biggest thing. Now, credit card on file is not perfect, right? People have their credit cards replaced. Sometimes they get stolen. Sometimes, whatever. They have a debit card and there's insufficient funds, whatever. That happens. It's probably, I'm going to say, less than 1% of the time. I have to deal with that. In that case, what I would do is I would just either text or email. I usually do both. I'll say, hey, the credit card had insufficient funds. And then I just email them another link. They can put another card on file. That happens all the time. And usually what my customers will do is they'll keep that link, and they'll just keep it in their email, and when they need to update their card or whatever, they can just do it. I don't even have to be involved in it. It does it automatically. That's the way I like to do it. Now, there is a processing fee that you have to pay. It's not very much. It's just a percentage, like 1.5% or 2% of the value of whatever the charge is. Like say it's $50, the company that processes it. But it's just a cost of doing business, and I don't have to do anything. It saves me time, right? So if I'm out here, doing a bunch of yards, I can what I usually do is I will wait till I'm done with my route and I get back home. I do it on the computer. But I can do it directly from my phone. As soon as I finish the yard, bam, I charge it. It's done, like instantaneous. It's so fast and easy. So if you're starting a lawn care business, I would highly recommend you to try to use something like Yardbook, because it's free, and their credit card processor integrates with Yardbook. It's seamless. It works perfect. It's beautiful, and it doesn't cost you anything other than the processing fee when you do a charge, right? There's no monthly fee or anything that you have to pay to the processor. It's as you do it, and it's well worth, $50 yard. It may cost $1.10 or something, or about 1 or 2%, whatever that comes out to be. But it's fast and easy, and you get your money immediately, and then it's transferred to your bank. I just don't want people now get inundated with emails and mails and texts and all that. I just don't want to have to chase somebody for the money for something I've already done. I have one customer that wants to do prepay, but I do it on the credit card. So I have it on the calendar on the certain day of every month. I'll just go in there. He prepays for the month, and I just put the dates that he's prepaying for and send him the receipt. It's so easy, and I get the money for the entire month. If you want to do that and offer a discount, you can do that. Customers, I've had some customers before that I'm going to say they're bad money managers. They use debit cards, and a lot of times the card on file didn't have enough money. So after a couple of times, I'm like, hey, I'm going to have to put you on prepay. So I would either charge the card the day before I go to do the service. And if it didn't, if there wasn't money in there, then I would say, hey, cards that got no money, we're supposed to come out and do the service. And 100% of the time, everybody always, does their transfer or whatever, puts another card on file. It's so easy. And this way, right, you will never get into a customer more than one cut, right? So I have a situation yesterday. We did a yard and never had any problem with the customer. Obviously, they're using a debit card, which is fine because it says there's insufficient funds. So I went to go do the charge. It said there's insufficient funds. I text the customer and email them. So what's going to happen is when they get that, they'll transfer the money or fix it. I send them the new link. If they want to use that again, that's fine. Let's just say they don't pay. They're just not going to pay. Well, that can happen. But if I have been cutting somebody all month and then send them an invoice and then they don't pay, now I'm into them for potentially between 2 and 4 cuts, depending if you're cutting weekly or bi-weekly. I'm only into this customer for one service, right? So if they don't pay, I'm not servicing their yard again until they pay. I'm just not doing that. I'm not in the business to do free services. But that's never happened before. So it could happen. It may happen one day. But my customers have been really, really good. I've gotten good customers and have never had somebody not pay. Now, one time I had a intuition. I'm like, I need to charge this card right before I get to the house. And it didn't go through. It was a rental house, and they never, ever responded to me. Whether it was text or email, they just ghosted me bad. So I don't know if they took off, left the middle of the night or whatever, but thank goodness I didn't do the yard. I just had a weird feeling about that one. We had done a big cleanup there, and I got paid. It was a couple $100, and they were happy with the work and everything, but some people are just like that. And I have had some people before, over the past, maybe 6 years, I've been doing credit card on file. One of them was my neighbor down the street. His money got funny. Like he was having money problems. He's like, can we do the charge a couple of days from now? And I don't have any problem with that. And then it got to where he started not responding. And then I had to say, look, dude, you're going to have to, take care of this. And he finally did. But I dropped him. I'm like, no, that's not working. Because this happened over several services. And when I see a pattern like that, your best bet is to go find somebody that's going to have the patience and the patience to deal with that, because I'm not going to deal with that. There's too many good customers around for me to deal with somebody that shows a pattern of doing that. So it's just like people that skip. You can do that a couple times with me, but if it looks like you're trying to get me to cut your yard once a month, you're out of there, because it's taking up room on the schedule that I could have somebody that would do weekly. But anyway, leave down in the comments and tell me how you collect payments from your customers, which method you use. Do you use cash, check, charge? Do you use any of those apps? Do you invoice? And how it's worked out for you. If you haven't done credit card on file and you use Yardbook, it is so easy. You can, I think there's a tab on there. You can contact them to get set up. It's really easy, and it's the best thing ever. It takes out so much stress because we are in the lawn care business. We are not in the collections business. So that's the way I like to look at it. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. It is, wow, I've talked for 15 minutes. We're going to be getting out of here soon, and hopefully we'll have a good day of mowing. I will talk to you guys on the next video.